Hi, welcome to another Q&A for the San Francisco International Independent Short Film Festival 2024. We are very lucky to have Kara and Craig with Reframe joining us today for a Q&A after watching their wonderful movie and a bunch of eclectic shorts. Hey guys,
Hello.
Hello.
how are
Thanks
you?
for having us. Good. Doing
Good.
well. Yeah.
Where are you calling in from?
We're in San Francisco.
You
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
Cool,
Back
cool.
door, what neighborhood?
Uh,
Richmond District.
yeah.
Very
So the
cool.
foggy side of the city.
Excellent. Yes. Well, I thought I did, real quick, let's get into it. I thought I did notice it seemed like Golden Gate kind of trees and forest, and was that shot in Golden Gate Park?
Yeah, that last scene was, and then that middle scene was at Ocean Beach.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, first scene was in Oakland at a studio.
All
So
Cool.
local.
yeah,
And who are you guys, and what roles did you play in the film?
you first.
We co-directed it. He obviously was the person behind the camera as well. I also styled and produced it. And we co-narrated, co-wrote it.
Yes.
So we pretty much did pretty much everything together outside of the styling portion. That was all me.
Yeah.
And
And
who's
then
the narrator?
The narrator was our really good friend, Masejo Morgan, who's based in Cape Town, South Africa,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, because very appealing voice. Good choice.
Yes. Thank you.
So you guys collaborated from the get-go, basically.
Pretty
yeah,
much,
yeah,
yeah.
A- a-
definitely.
And what was the inspiration? How did that start?
Um,
Uh, do you
do
want to?
you,
And
yeah,
you're still talking to each other. You're still playing
Yes.
together.
good sign.
Um, well, yeah, so I think the inspiration for all of this stemmed from my own sort of creative burnout at the time. It was maybe like a couple years ago. I had really just experienced this need to really detox off of social media, detox from just the overwhelming need to be doing things all of the time, make myself known. I come from a mix of mainly a wardrobe and personal stylist by day. I do a little bit of social media as well. And so, yeah, there was just this experience of burnout that I'd had. And I guess I just felt that it was such a relatable thing, and that's where the idea sort of started. And you can maybe continue on with the how we made it happen.
Yeah. I think from there we just kind of brainstormed on scenes that would reflect that sort of feeling, the burnout feeling, the overstimulation, need for validation, stuff like that. And the idea of like mimicking like a scrolling sort of interface along with like a fashion shoot came to mind. Um, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, from there we just wrote it and had some friends help.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's very beautiful, very vibrant, colorful, pretty visually, and then for me, it was pretty to look at, and so did some of our other screeners enjoy watching it. But the the script really stood out for me. I just remember it really resonated. I get it, Kara, what you're talking about, just a burnout or just feeling like I don't know. You have statements about like wanting more, needing more, having to make this impression and just chase this, keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing, especially with social media, and that's what really resonated with me.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean I feel like it's this universal feeling now, and I really wanted to capture it with a narration and but not make it um too wordy, of course, like just like these very like strong, simple
Hmm.
statements that everyone kind of like just gets within the context of the visuals. And yeah, I mean, that just need for external validation that we all unfortunately play into these days, especially as creatives, because,
Yeah,
the creative goes hand in hand with social media these days.
right, right. Which is kind of a blessing and a curse, because well, just obvious reasons. But do you find that you're working a lot with clients or subjects that are chasing the likes,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like influencers?
Totally, totally. And like we all kind of, again, like we all play into it without realizing it. I mean, some people are probably more aware of, like, they make it their job, like that is what they do. And so they can work the camera, they can work um around social media, but then there's just people who like, because we're so media focused, social media focused specifically these days, whether you're an influencer, a creative or not, you're just, we're so glued to our phones,
So
you know.
true, so true. Yeah, it's a drug now. It's definitely we're all addicts to the social media or to the device. But back to your script and stuff. I mean, I almost feel like um, your script and your narration were so poignant, so profound that you could have filmed anything with it, right? I mean, no, it is beautiful. Not to
Mhm.
disqualify the imagery. It is fantastic and it works. But your script, and it starts from the script, was just point on. I thought.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I
Yes.
that's really nice to hear, actually, because it's kind of back and forth
Well, I
about.
felt afraid to say that because I didn't. Craig, you shot it, right?
Ah, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to go and dismiss your beautiful work.
Oh,
But
good. No,
you know,
thank
it's
you.
you can almost put your script, and you did, and keep it in on the page and just read it. Maybe you should publish a little coffee table book to go along with your movie
Oh,
Not a bad idea.
yeah.
with
Like,
with imagery, right?
Yes.
yeah, that's not a bad
But
idea.
we'll talk more about the movie making process in a little bit. But because like the script resonated with me and is kind of relevant nowadays, um, how hard was it to write the script?
Honestly, yeah, going into that, it's funny because usually you write the script first and then you start doing the visuals, but actually, because I am such a visual person, we actually started with like one visual and that
Wow,
planted the seed, and then from there kind of the narration sort of formed in our minds.
wow, well, that's
So we did it
cool.
kind of backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
or like during in a way. Yeah,
During and back, yes,
yeah.
yes.
yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, I
Um,
think, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, you're inspiring me for more questions. So, what was the first image? What was the first visual that started all the seed?
It's the concept of like being on a fashion shoot where everything's kind of happening relatively fast paced around this one person who's like a constant, but she's like, she has no agency around her on this photo shoot. Um, and and so it sort of mimics this whole feeling of a loss of agency with like social media consumption.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so yeah, the concept was like having her in all these like very extravagant um like looks, like both hair and makeup as well as like the clothing, and just like having it really juxtapose with the after of like everything's like more simplified, that she's out in nature is just really kind of the antithesis of like what the initial scene was.
Right, right, and you have like a very diverse, all female cast, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
that's true.
Hmm.
Which was nice. And I remember the one quote, something about peace. Where's your peace? Or find your peace.
Hmm.
It's in you. It's not external,
Yeah, it's never in the things you thought you needed.
right?
That was, yeah.
It just, as I keep repeating, it resonates really deeply with me. I appreciate it. So back to some filmmaking stuff. So how quick did it go once you guys got that visual idea, the seed?
Yeah, I think we probably filmed the entire thing like over, I don't know, over the course of a year or so, but like
Uh,
not constantly, because
Right.
we have our jobs to
Yeah.
do, and
Yeah.
so when we could rally everyone and like everyone's schedules aligned. But yeah, it was just 3 days of filming, three
Yeah.
scenes, three locations, and it's one of those things. Once you're there, it's easier. The planning's way more difficult.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
I think the most challenging scene was probably the studio scene,
Yes.
just because we had a time limit of I think 6 hours or so. So we had
Very
to
Was it
quick.
set
a
up for an
reserved
hour.
rental space, a reserve rental space? You got, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So that was good, and we had help from friends for like the lighting side and makeup, and yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like all aspects. But It was a rush, but you got it done.
I think the biggest obstacle for that specific shot was I wanted such intricate hair and makeup. And
Yeah.
so you know how it is on set with hair and makeup. You want to have them take their time on it, but like Esther, who is our hair and makeup artist, like she really, really like did like the most amazing work like for each look, but again, it was like again a crunch for time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe because it's your specialty or your profession that you were a little bit more of a perfectionist. Did that got in the way, possibly?
When it came to like the looks, because again, like we wanted it to showcase more extravagance, to juxtapose with like the next two scenes, which are much more simple and like, she's a little, I mean, she's done up, but less done up than,
Mhm.
the queen.
And how was the cast? How did they come about? How did you recruit or cast them? And how was it working with all the different ladies in your film?
Yeah, so the main character is actually my best friend, who is a fellow stylist and also just like a model. So she's like pretty natural in front of the camera, knows how to work it. And then yeah, the other two that she meets at the end of the film, are friends of ours as well, all kind of in the influencer space. So they got it. They like
Yeah. Right.
understood the concept of the
Yeah.
story.
And have they seen the finished product yet?
They have,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they've all seen it.
What did they think?
They liked it. I think they were
Yeah.
really happy with how it turned out. I think they were just happy to be involved and to help like out creatively, like with a vision that we both had.
For sure.
Right. Right. So, do you feel like you guys accomplished your original vision, or the film kind of created itself with your help? Did you have a final kind of imagery in your? What do you think? How'd you do?
I think we definitely felt like I think generally the vision for sure, at least after like with the end result, it came through pretty much for the most part. Obviously, I think with weather stuff and angles, we had to improvise a little bit more, and of course, just budget and time constraints because it was a pretty low budget film.
Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like it. If you have friends, I hear friends, cast is friends, so that's great. The true indie spirit.
Very,
Yes.
very lucky to have great friends and who are all very talented.
Yeah, for
Well, and
sure.
your film's special and unique, and that's what it's all about, right? I mean, independent filmmaking, as opposed to making another kind of formulaic narrative, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. It's a good point. Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
there
we're screening all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of films, and then this comes along, and it's like you stand out.
yeah.
That's what you want.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I'm not just trying to flatter you or pat you on the back. You,
Yeah.
you got in the film festival. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're
it,
very
it,
we're very happy it did, especially for
yeah.
us at Indie
Uh,
Fest. Yeah.
right. And so, um, do you think you got some sort of I don't know reward out of this catharsis? Um,
Um, I feel like I'm talking
No,
mostly,
it's
and
all
I'm so
good. I
sorry.
mean, it's
uh,
you.
well, he's a gentleman. He's a smart guy.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think it was really cathartic making it only, especially just like one, you get together with like an amazing group of people who are your friends and who are in this industry, in various parts of this industry. And so they all get it. And, we actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but we had like a private screening with friends. Like we made it like a whole event. And
No,
anyway,
you can say that. It's hard to film.
and it just like to get all the feedback of how much it resonated with like a lot of people as far as like the concept of burnout and the concept of like feeling like a loss of agency because we're so glued to like this external validation that we're all seeking now. It was really nice to hear that feedback because it's like, oh, this isn't just me, it's happening too. It's like happening to everyone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Did you guys have any? Did you learn anything about yourselves, about your relationship, your skills? I
Great
guess so.
question.
Oh gosh.
Uh,
Are you guys a couple?
we are.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
married.
And, oh, good. And you're still married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to that point, it's good if you ever have ideas and you can have meetings whenever you want, but you also got to
Yeah.
turn that off at some point because, can't be working.
Well,
Yeah.
I have related experiences as you guys, but also, what about when there's disagreements or
Mhm.
conflict? Someone's got to give.
I think it, I mean, in some ways, if you're in a relationship with someone, you are more comfortable to disagree on something
Yeah.
without, because yeah, you're more comfortable with each other.
Right.
Right,
But
that's true.
you
You
also
already have
don't.
experience in the day to day
Yeah.
I don't
navigating.
know. Like I feel like we've had, maybe we're fortunate in that we are a couple who is like pretty good at communication and we have had the chance to work with each other on previous sets.
Hmm.
So like we get both of our rhythms and
You got
so
experience. Yeah.
it was really natural. I don't really remember too many instances of stress between like you and me specifically, more just time constraints and all of
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, to answer your question again,
yeah.
I think like time constraints, yeah, giving yourself enough time for sure.
Yeah.
I think we gave ourselves mostly enough time, but we were still rushing. So,
As is normal for a film production or a film set. I mean,
yeah,
normal
Yeah.
challenges.
knowing what you can cut from the movie beforehand, what's like an extra shot, I think is good. And
Yeah.
yeah, just planning in advance, like what's gonna be an obstacle and try to get over that before it happens. Um,
Yeah.
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 We have time for one or two more. What was a favorite moment in your journey for this film? You have any favorite filmmaking moments or any highlights, standouts?
Yeah.
You
I guess for me, I don't know, I learned After Effects a little more. The
That's
pro
a highlight.
Yeah, well, like being able to like make that scene with the
Sure.
scrolling was
Yeah.
cool. It was a good challenge. I wouldn't have like, known how to do that if I didn't
Right.
have that scene to make.
Right.
Um, but yeah, just being outside and making movies with friends is really fun and nice, and I'd
Just
like to do
people
that more.
like being so down to say yes to something where it's like, again, we're very scrappy on this film. So, all we can provide is great company and good food
And a credit, yeah.
and a credit, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think for me the highlight was one of the other big things that I wanted to highlight, sort of subtly within this, was like all of the people I pulled looks from. All of the people were sustainable fashion brands or vintage brands that were local, and so I really wanted to like highlight local and or small businesses from the looks that we put together. So there is like that aspect of kind of like sort of promoting,
Yeah.
our
Cool.
fellow small businesses and friends in that way, and paying tribute to, I guess, an aspect of sustainability that like I really, live and breathe outside of just, like in tandem with, fashion styling. So that was a
Yeah.
big highlight for me.
Yeah. And so you guys are both in San Francisco or the Bay Area.
Hmm.
Let's get a little local, so maybe a little bit longer here in the Q&A. But how do you guys feel about the state of filmmaking, independent production in Bay Area?
Yeah, I don't know. It's never been as big as like LA, but I think I don't know. I feel like consistently, like twice a year, there's like a big movie up here, like a bigger indie movie, and
Mhm.
I think that's cool that that still exists.
Right.
Yeah, I think, and a lot of people are making short films. You just gotta like know the right people if you're trying to get into that world and help out. But I
Right.
think it's a good small community, and people are down to help each other out.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that. And yeah, I'd like that to stay that
I
way.
think it's still thriving. I think it's
Yeah.
still thriving in its own small way.
Mhm.
We get to work with people pretty consistently that we've worked with on previous sets, which is such a fun thing. And so there is always something happening. And like he said, you just have to look for it. But yeah.
Cool. And so, what's next in the works for you guys as far as personal projects?
Well, I'm still editing a movie we shot earlier
Yes.
this year, so I'm hoping to get that out soon.
Mhm.
Another short?
Yeah, another short.
Shot right here, actually.
Yeah, shot in this room. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. And I don't know, and then making room for the next idea, from
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah, and I mean, I'm more again like this was my first film ever. I'm not sure if I never say never, right? I really love the styling and costume design side of things. That's like my specialty.
Right.
But so yeah, as far as that, I have like a couple of projects down the line, like to be a wardrobe stylist and costume designer on like other film sets. So like those are the things I'm very excited about. But yeah, I wouldn't say no if a really cool idea came
Well,
along.
yeah, I think you should do another one, both of you guys. So,
Yeah.
uh,
thank
yeah,
you.
keep going. If this is any inclination of future work, then keep going. Make another one.
Thank
Well, I
you.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
And thanks for your questions. It's nice
Yeah.
to think about our movies in the way that you're posing. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was a wonderful film. Thank you for submitting it, and congratulations for completing it. Not only getting in our festival, but completing a short film. I know how hard it is to make movies.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure to meet you guys. I hope I meet you in person.
yeah,
For
likewise.
sure.
That'd be great.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
everybody. Thanks for watching this Q&A for the 2024 San Francisco Independent Short Film Festival. Catch more at sfindy.com. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.